Let me paint you a picture. It's a Sunday evening. You're sitting at your kitchen table or maybe on your couch with your laptop and you're staring at a spreadsheet or your bank app. You've got your coffee, you've got your determination. You're going to finally build that perfect, airtight budget. You're going to track every single subscription, forecast your groceries down to the dollar, allocate funds for entertainment and miscellaneous. You feel that surge of control. This is it. This is the month you get your finances handled. And then life happens. It's now the 15th of the month. You forgot your friend's birthday dinner was this week, so there goes the dining out category. Your car needed a surprise tire replacement. You saw a book you've been wanting for months finally go on sale. And just like that, the beautiful, color-coded system you built feels like a prison. It feels like it's yelling at you, highlighting your failures in red. So what do? You abandon it. You close the spreadsheet and think, I'll just try again next month. And the cycle continues. You feel like you're running in place, working hard, maybe even earning more, but your savings account, it just sits there, whispering that you're not making progress. If that feeling is at all familiar, that friction between the plan and real, messy life, then I need you to know something crucial. It's not you. It's the system. The traditional budget for so many of us isn't a tool of liberation. It's a tool of guilt. It focuses on restriction, on what you can't do. And our brains, they just rebel against that. My name is Sadar, and I spend way too much time thinking about the psychology of money, why people make the financial decisions they do, and how to build wealth with intention. I've been in that Sunday night cycle more times than I can count. And for years, I believed I just lacked discipline, until my partner and I hit a wall. We had a big, scary financial goal. We needed to save a significant amount for a life transition, and every budget we built crumbled within weeks. We were frustrated, we were arguing about money, and we felt stuck. Then we stumbled onto a different way of thinking. We stopped asking, what can we cut? And started asking a much more powerful question. What do we actually want our money to do for us? This shift, it changed everything. It led us to save $18,500 in just 11 months, not by white-knuckling our way through deprivation, but by designing a system that worked with our psychology, not against it. We called it, for lack of a better term, the anti-budget. And it's not about not having a plan. It's about having a better, more humane, and honestly, more effective plan. This isn't a story of extreme frugality. We didn't stop going out. We didn't eat only rice and beans. We lived our lives, but we directed our money with a level of intention we never had before. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what this anti-budget is, the 3 core pillars that make it work, and how you can apply this same mindset to stop fighting your finances and start making real, measurable progress towards what matters to you. So, if you're tired of the cycle of budgeting and burning out, and you're ready for a framework that focuses on permission rather than punishment, shall we begin? Chapter 1: The Illusion of Control. Let's start by deconstructing why traditional budgets so often fail us. I think it's because they sell us an illusion, the illusion of perfect control. A budget in its classic form is a forecast. It's a prediction of the future. And we all know how good we are at predicting the future, right? Life is beautifully, frustratingly unpredictable. The budget says you'll spend $300 on groceries, but then you have a brutally busy week at work and you end up ordering in twice. The budget says you'll spend $0 on home repairs, but then your dishwasher decides to flood your kitchen. Every time reality diverges from the forecast, which is always, it creates what I call financial friction. That little spike of stress, that ping of guilt. Oops, I messed up. Over time, that friction builds up. It makes engaging with your money feel stressful, feel like a report card you're failing. So our natural human response is to avoid the thing causing the pain. We stop looking at the budget. We stop checking our accounts. We go into the financial fog. The other problem is category paralysis. Do I put this pharmacy trip under healthcare or groceries? Is this coffee with a work contact dining or business? We get so lost in the granular tracking that we miss the forest for the trees. We're focused on the cents while the dollars are slipping out the back door without any real direction. The anti-budget starts from a completely different premise. It accepts, right from the start, that you cannot control every single dollar. Life will happen. Instead, it focuses on controlling the destination of your money. It's the difference between trying to micromanage every single turn a river takes versus simply ensuring it flows into the right lake. Your energy is finite. This system is about putting that energy where it has the highest impact. Chapter 2. The core shift: paying yourself first but smarter. You've probably heard the phrase, pay yourself first. It's classic personal finance advice, and it's the absolute bedrock of the anti-budget. But we implemented it in a very specific, non-negotiable way. For us, paying yourself first didn't just mean saving a bit from each paycheck. It meant funding our priorities before money ever had a chance to become spending money. Here, what we did with real numbers. We looked at our big, scary goal. Let's say it was that $18,500. We broke it down over 11 months. That's about $1,682 per month we needed to save. Now, instead of hopping, we'd have that left over at the end of the month. We made it our first and most important bill. The moment our paychecks hit our joint account, an automated transfer of $842, half each pay period, would immediately whisk that money away into a separate, high-yield savings account we nicknamed the goal. We never saw it. It never touched our day-to-day checking account. It was gone. But that was just the goal. We also automated our retirement contributions, our Roth IRA deposits. We automated a small transfer to a Life Happens fund for those car repairs and dishwasher emergencies. All of this happened on day one of the pay cycle. We were essentially building our financial future and our peace of mind on autopilot before we even thought about rent, groceries, or anything else. This is the first pillar of the anti-budget: automated priority funding. You are literally designing your financial future first. Everything else, your rent, your bills, your groceries, your fun money, exists in the space after your priorities are already funded. This one shift removes an immense amount of willpower from the equation. You don't have to decide to save. The decision was made once when you set up the automation. You're just executing the plan. Chapter 3. The freedom number: what's left is for living. Okay, so after all the automated transfers for our goal, for retirement, for our Life Happens fund, what was left in our main checking account? That number, let's call it the freedom number, is the second pillar. This is the money for everything else: housing, utilities, groceries, gas, dates, subscriptions, clothes, hobbies, everything. This is where the magic happens and where all the guilt disappears. That freedom number is not a budget to be divided into 27 subcategories. It's a single pool of resources. Our only rule was simple and liberating. As long as we don't spend more than this number by the next payday, we are 100% on track. We didn't care if we spent $200 on groceries one week and $100 the next. We didn't care if we blew $150 on a fancy dinner one night. As long as the total outflow from that account stayed below the freedom number, we were winning. This transformed our relationship with spending. That coffee, it was blowing the coffee budget. It was just spending from the freedom pool. Buying a new pair of shoes wasn't a moral failure. It was a conscious choice that our pool could accommodate. It removed the category guilt entirely and replaced it with a simple, powerful constraint: don't drain the pool. This forces conscious trade-offs in real time, not on a spreadsheet. Do I want to order takeout tonight? Well, if I do, that's less for that concert ticket I might want next week. It puts you in the driver's seat with a clear fuel gauge, not a complicated map of forbidden roads. Chapter 4. The weekly money date: alignment over accounting. The third pillar is what made the system sustainable and conflict-free: the weekly money date. Every Sunday evening, my partner and I would sit down for 10 minutes. This was not a forensic accounting session. We weren't scrutinizing receipts. We simply did two things. First, we'd check our checking account balance against our remaining freedom number for the pay period. A quick, guilt-free pulse check. Okay, we have X left for the next 7 days. We're on track. Second, and more importantly, we'd look ahead. We'd ask, what's coming up this week that will need money? Is there a birthday dinner? Do we need to fill up the gas tanks? Is a big utility bill auto-drafting? This wasn't about restriction. It was about alignment and expectation setting. It prevented surprises and the arguments that come with them. It turned money management from a solo, stressful chore into a 10-minute team alignment meeting. We were on the same page, operating from the same pool with the same goal, to live well within our freedom number. This system worked because it attacked the problem from three angles: psychology, removing guilt; automation, removing willpower; and communication, removing conflict. The $18,500 wasn't saved by cutting out joy. It was saved by front-loading our intention and then giving ourselves the freedom to live with what was left without micromanagement. So let's bring this home. If you take one thing from this, let it be this core mental model. Wealth isn't built by tracking every penny you spend. It's built by directing every penny you save, first and automatically. The anti-budget is just a friendly name for intentional, automated priority funding followed by guilt-free living. Think back to that Sunday night feeling I described at the very beginning. The frustration, the cycle of hope and burnout. The distance between that feeling and where we landed isn't measured in discipline, but in design. We simply designed a system that respected reality, that life is unpredictable, that our willpower is limited, and that guilt is a terrible motivator. Your action step from this isn't to go build a complicated spreadsheet. It's to ask yourself that pivotal question. What do I want my money to do for me? Name one specific goal. It could be a $2,000 vacation fund, a $10,000 emergency fund, paying off a credit card. Then figure out the monthly number. And then just take one step. Set up a single, automated transfer for that amount to happen the day after you get paid. Hide it in a separate account. That's it, start there. You've just implemented the most powerful part of the system. You are not bad with money because budgets feel stifling. You're human. The goal isn't to become a perfect accountant for your own life. The goal is to build a financial foundation so solid that you can then live your life with freedom, flexibility, and peace of mind. You can do this. It starts with paying your future self first, and then trusting yourself with the rest.